Hey everyone, we are getting invaded by Gel Ball Blaster, and I'm not even speaking of the Chinese manufacturer, I'm speaking of Nerf, Inkshot, and Dart Zone. They have more Gel Ball Blaster coming or already in the market than we think of. Let's check them out today. I'm that old Nerf guy, welcome to Tag. First of all, I am not a gel ball player, this is not my main medium. But since pretty much all the manufacturers have put their nose into it, I might check them out. And my main gripe with those gel balls was that the blaster we were using were looking too much like the real steel weapon, or just looking too cheap with some kind of a grenade shaped hopper on top of them for what the Chinese were offering in the market and for what I could see into games. It was either that or either the high-tech replica of a real firearm that was used in that game. I prefer my blaster looking like a blaster, meaning those offering from Nerf, Inkshot, and Dart Zone are starting to look a bit more interesting. Let's start with the older player in that game, the first one to have put blaster on the market. It's going to be Dart Zone. Dart Zone kind of put their name in that game about a year and a half ago, if I am not mistaken, with the Pulsar and the Nebula Pro. Those were under the Hydro Strike series, the Pulsar being that big flagship blaster with select fire, semi-automatic or full automatic, automatic electrical magazine, large capacity, high FPS with rechargeable battery. This was really something. And there was the Nebula, which was the more simplistic, less expensive internal hopper, single shot Springer pistol, much more like one of their Dart Zone Sentry, but with gel ball blaster. But the market being what it is, they kind of renamed it Gel Zone. But it's not like a rebranding completely. It's like they're keeping both brands. One is more for Walmart with the Hydro Strike and the other one is more for Target with the Gel Zone. But both offering are equivalent to one another. I mean, if we take the Pulsar, that was into the Hydro Strike series, into the Gel Zone, this is going to be the Kratos. And that Kratos blaster look a little bit more chubby, but got the same kind of spec. It's going to look really nice, and I kind of dig that new teal color for the Gel Zone. Same goes for the Nebula. They made the Stormer to be kind of an equivalent, simple, less expensive single shot pistol blaster, but still those have an MSRP of $25 United States dollar. Not sure if it's perfect, but it's not that high compared to Nerf blaster in that category. So I think Dart Zone is doing quite good on it. And the pricing on that Kratos and that Pulsar is around 85 United States dollar. That's not bad either. But they have another one. Then they have the small compact automatic. They're doing theirs with an internal hopper, both offering into both categories. The Hydro Strike and the Gel Zone are equivalent. They are only automatic though for those small pistols, but they look like big giant Chronos pistol with a battery inside that shoot a lot of rounds very fast at around 160 FPS. Those two blasters are the Hydro Strike Nova and the Gel Zone Hydrax. They look quite the same. They both have their particular color to go in their particular series. The Nova got some graphic on the side and is coming soon to Walmart, while the Gel Zone Hydrax is already out on Target if I'm not mistaken. This is quite nice, and the price is just under what Nerf asked for a gelfire mythic. It's 55 United States dollar for the MSRP, which ain't bad at all. Before we switch to Nerf, there's another blaster in the Hydro Strike series, which is the Stratos. The Stratos blaster is basically a huge minigun with a huge motorized drum that should have a very high rate of fire. This is made to make those gel ball rain onto your enemies. I think this is going to be a bit overpowered, but this one look quite interesting even if it got a real steel look. Now let's go on with Nerf. Well, Nerf. Not so long ago they came on the market quite disappointingly with the Gelfire Mythic, which was quite under par with any other offering on the market, FPS wise, performance wise, and practically design wise with that stock at the rear. And they came with the Legion, which was a bit worse with less FPS even if it was a Springer. But now Nerf is expanding this line with kind of a new look that is kind of uniform on their new blaster. They have the Raid, the Dual Wheel, and the Ghost. The Raid is going to be an awesome pump action springer that shoots 5 gel ball on each shot. This is going to be quite interesting. A $40 price point, but still it's a real kind of a shotgun blaster that you will be able to use and have a lot of fun in the field. I am sure of this. This one is quite unique with the V-shaped barrel. I kind of dig this one. Then they came with a dual wheel pack. The FPS is kind of low, should be around a 120, 130 FPS, but those two blasters don't need priming. Basically, you just pull the trigger and it fires. With an internal 100 round hopper, I think you just fill them at the beginning of the day. You use them as a last resort pistol. That could be amazing. And assuming you have some kind of a big giant melee game, you could easily dual wield that. It could be amazing. This offering too is quite good. I mean, 2 blaster altogether, $30. And if the blaster perform and are good quality, I think this could be a nice option. And they don't look too real either. Then I'm going to have to go with their big flagship blaster. And it's not a fully automatic select fire like the other brand. This one is more of a single shot, bolt prime, supposedly 200 FPS blaster. I hope there's a metal barrel inside. I haven't got one, but my only hope for this blaster, my hope for redemption for this gelfire Ghost is basically a conversion to half dart. That's for my personal use. Other than that, yes, I would wish to try one, because if this thing is precise and powerful, it could be very, very fun. But keep in mind that 200 FPS for those gel ball is not that far-fetched. I mean, my B-Wine can go above 200, 220 on fully automatic. So I don't think this is that exceptional. What I think is that Nerf offering us something with like on par power in that category is quite interesting. The $50 price tag is quite high, because you're going to see for $50 I think you can have more. And Zuru came with the new X-Shot Hyper Gel. And Zuru this year are quite impressive. I mean, they are coming at everybody, catching on every market, just to remind us that they are there. And they are there quite strong. Let's go check what they are willing to put for us on the market in their new Hyper Gel series. And they're coming with 3, maybe 4 blaster. We're going to have to see in the future. Let's check the first one, the spring-powered one, the inexpensive one, the $15 clutch blaster. This clutch blaster is basically an internal hopper, pump action springer blaster, very short pump action springer blaster, and the underside magazine is basically a spare reserve for your gel ball, so you can refill your hopper. I really don't know if they have some kind of a gimmick to just reverse your blaster to refill your hopper. But if they do, I think this is going to be quite fun to use on the field. Also, they are coming with the Trace Fire. And the Trace Fire, just by its shape, is clearly and directly aiming at the Gelfire Mythic. I mean, even in the color scheme, the looks of it, the shape of it, it got a big hopper on top of it. But even more, there is that same underside magazine that maybe can refill internally, or you can refill on the fly, but you have the same huge capacity thing on what is supposed to be select fire. You have to remember that the Dart Zone, Hydrax, and the Nova are automatic only, and they are priced higher than this thing, which is priced at around $40 for a select fire blaster. Look a lot like a Gelfire Mythic, but it's an X-Shot one. I bet this one is going to be interesting, but maybe not as interesting as their big flagship blaster for this year, the HPG 700. Basically like a Pulsar Pro or a Kratos or my B-Wine gel ball blaster, this is going to be a select fire, fully automatic or semi-automatic motorized magazine, large capacity blaster, and it looked really dazzling. And with the X-Shot price tag of $50 on that new HPG high velocity 200 FPS blaster, this is impressive. If it's doing everything it says with the rechargeable battery included, this is gonna be amazing. Plus, an unannounced blaster. We have this picture. There is even a video of this blaster in movement on the official Xshot page on Amazon, but there is no mention anywhere. This blaster is either something unannounced that's going to be cheaper than the clutch, or it's the prototype from the clutch that has leaked out as is and is never going to be seen anywhere. But I hope they are coming out with this one. It's really a tidal wave, a tsunami of gel ball blaster coming in an ecosystem near us. That said, I am not a gel ball player, but I'm not saying I am rejecting them. I am gonna check some of those really cool looking blasters. It looked like that each of them have a little something that interests me, so really I am gonna peek into them. Yeah, I think that's it for this small video. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at that old nerf guy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to notify for my latest video. This was Dave Fatag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.